and welcome to LMU Community TV News. We hope you're having a great week. I'm Peyton McDaniel, and these are the stories we have for you today. The Claiborne County Sheriff's Department conducted a raid on a suspected drug house in Harrogate Wednesday afternoon. The Sheriff Department SWAT team raided a home at 344 Forge Ridge Road and took 9 suspects into custody. The home was the site of several undercover drug buys during the 3-month investigation. According to Claiborne County Sheriff David Ray, his department had received several community complaints of suspicious activity at this location over the past few months. The department's investigation discovered that the house was a major meth distribution outlet in the community. In addition to the 9 suspects facing various charges, 2 infants were found in a pickup truck parked in the driveway of the home. Both children were turned over to Family Services. This bus will serve notice that we will not tolerate this kind of behavior in our community, stated Ray. I am very proud of the work my officers did in bringing this investigation to a close, end quote. Ray noted that the drugs sold through this location were distributed along a route from Atlanta to East Tennessee. The Atlanta supply connection has direct ties to producers in Mexico. The Campbell County Sheriff's SWAT team and the 8th Judicial Task Force from the Office of District Attorney Jared Effler assisted in the bus. A new Tazewell police officer turned himself into authorities this week following an ongoing charge against him. An investigation by special agents with the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation resulted in the indictment of 38-year-old Todd Daniels on official misconduct and theft charges. 8th District Attorney General Jared Effler requested that TBI special agents begin an investigation on August 2nd. The investigation surrounded circumstances that involved the theft of evidence from the new Tazewell Police Department. It was revealed that Daniels was responsible for stealing previously seized narcotics from the new Tazewell Police Department between May 5th and July 27th. Earlier this week, the Claiborne County Grand Jury returned indictments charging Daniels with official misconduct and theft. Daniels turned himself into the Claiborne County Jail and was released on a $1,000 bond. The month of October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and ABE's team is getting the word out on the importance of awareness and protecting those involved in abuse. President of ABE's team, Becca Burchett, spoke with us about this month's national campaign and how you can get involved.
Last night we showed the documentary Audrey and Daisy, and it accounted these 2 girls' real-life events when they were sexually assaulted and kind of the aftermath of that. It wasn't just what happened and then dropped, it was how their lives changed after the event. And it also showed about 3 or 4 other girls and their stories and how they came together and kind of united to make a stand and to let their voices be heard. Because a lot of the times, especially in today's society, girls' voices aren't being heard in these types of cases. And there was one line that was really impactful to me during the documentary, and it said that they're trying to shelter the boys more than fighting for the protection of the girls or to hear the girls' voices. It wasn't exactly how it was said, but that was the premise. We had about 20 people show up, which may seem like a small number to some people, but we had an awesome discussion at the end of it, and that was one of the most important parts from the night for me. And the use of alcohol was one thing that was really highlighted in this documentary, and they said, well, some of the girls were intoxicated, so it was more or less like they had it coming to them, when in reality that's not the case. And things like that need to be voiced, especially on college campuses, because girls have a say with what they can and can't do with their bodies, and when they say no, that's important. And it's also important to speak up for victims and not just protect the boys' images who are involved. And that's why I just really want to stress how important it is to hold your friends accountable and to hold those around you accountable to higher expectations for yourself.
Don't forget that you can get involved with ABE's team by contacting the Lincoln Memorial University Counseling Department or a member of ABE's team. Tomorrow night, you are invited to Vampire Dive-In movie at the Mary S. Anand Pool. ABE's Paranormal Research Society and Zeta Tau Kappa Sorority are hosting the Fangtastic Pool Party for everyone to enjoy. The movie that is being shown is From Dusk Till Dawn. This is a great opportunity for the students to utilize a campus resource that's normally available in a new and unique way. These Halloween events are a great way to break from studying and to get in the Halloween spirit in preparation for Halloween Havoc. This is also a great, cheap because it's free, and fun event for our students on a Friday night. There will be food, beverages, and inflatable floats provided, so come out and have a great time and celebrate the Halloween season. If you would like more information, you can contact Rick Stowe at 423-869-6811 or send him an email at rick.stowe@lmunet.edu. Coming up after the break, it's Halloween season, and with that comes a lot of fun activities. To find out what you can get into this weekend right here on LMU Community TV News.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Got a quarter?
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
Coming up this next Monday inside Tex Turner Arena, you can celebrate the Halloween season at Halloween Havoc with LMU and the Rail Splitter Athletic Department.
All the community to come out. We have free trick-or-treating around the arena, giveaway prizes, different things like that. It's really a great event for not only the athletic department but the university as a whole to kind of connect with the community. It's a university-wide event. We have all different departments, organizations that are going to have tables set up, and there'll be different costumes and different things going on. We also have a photo booth with the athletes. I know that's a big hit with all the kids and stuff. So we're really looking forward to it. It's grown each and every year, and I think this is going to be the best year yet, so we're excited.
From 6 to 8 p.m. there will be games, prizes, a photo booth, along with free indoor trick-or-treating. Also, while you are there, take a sneak peek at the new arena floor and see the men's and women's basketball teams practice. You will have your chance to see LMU's Tex Turner Arena and meet some of the athletes, cheer and dance teams, and members of LMU student organizations. Entrance and trick-or-treating are free, and some activities may have a nominal fee. There are 42 campus organizations and offices that are signed up to serve the trick-or-treaters this year, and we expect to exceed last year's 4,000 attendance. Also, members of LMU Community TV will be there, so be sure you drop by and say hello. If you would like more information, you can contact Karen Farmer at 423-869-7409 or email at karen.farmer@lmunet.edu. This Halloween season is upon us, and with that comes several activities for you and your family to enjoy. Here are a few of the events that are happening around the area. The Claiborne County Public Library is hosting a Halloween bash from 11 until 1 Saturday, October 29th. Children of all ages are invited to dress up in their costumes for a fun-filled day of games, snacks, story times, and so much more. In the town of Cumberland Gap, Pumpkin Lights Festival is being held Friday, October 28th through Sunday, October 30th. They will also be hosting the annual pumpkin carving contest. It allows artists an outlet for their talents and the chance to win cash prizes and gift certificates from the Gap Creek Coffee House and Angelo's in the Gap. Cumberland Gap will be observing trick-or-treat hours from 5 to 8, Monday, October 31st. The City of New Tazewell and the City of Tazewell will host trick-or-treating from 5:30 to 7:30, Monday, October 31st. And the City of Tazewell will be distributing sweets at the Tazewell Municipal Park from 5:30 to 8 that evening. The town of Harrogate has not yet set trick-or-treat times yet, while the Harrogate Senior Center will be hosting its annual Halloween party beginning at 10:30 on Monday, October 31st. Middlesboro Downtown Merchants will be open for trick-or-treating from 9 that morning until noon on Monday, October 31st. The Middlesboro Malloween is also set from 5 until 7 to keep children safe while trick-or-treating and celebrating the season. Here are a few safety tips. For parents, make sure costumes are bright and reflective. Make sure children carry a flashlight or glow stick. Have an adult around at all times. Discuss an appropriate route. In case the child gets separated from the group, pin a slip of paper with the child's name, address, and phone number inside a pocket. Now, we know that it is important to keep children safe during trick-or-treating, but what about our furry friends? To give us advice on how to keep our pets safe during trick-or-treating, here's Assistant Professor of Veterinary Science at the School of Allied Health, Dr. Bonnie Price.
So there's a couple of things I'm concerned about around Halloween. One is the candy itself that kids are getting. So there's a few things that we need to worry about with candy. One is chocolate. I think most people have heard that chocolate can be toxic to your dogs. So definitely keep chocolate away from dogs. Things to look for if you're worried about chocolate toxicity. Dogs can become more anxious than usual, maybe breathing faster than normal, vomiting and diarrhea. In serious cases, we can see seizures with chocolate toxicity. So if you notice anything like that, contact your veterinarian immediately. A second concern with candy that I think a lot of people haven't heard of is xylitol. So xylitol is something that we're seeing in a lot of sugar-free candies and gums now. When animals eat xylitol, it can cause their blood sugar levels to become extremely low. So they can have incoordination, sometimes seizures. If we see that, they've got to get to the vet immediately so we can treat them for that, or they may die. So xylitol and chocolate are the big ones I worry about for food. Some other things that we worry about at Halloween, people coming to the door. You know, we're expecting trick-or-treaters, we know they're coming, but our pets don't always know that's happening. So they can become really anxious when a lot of people are coming to the door and there's a lot of activity. So especially with scary costumes, it can just, be unusual for them. So I recommend that people keep their pet, if they can, in a quiet room that's separate from the trick-or-treaters. Sometimes that can cause more anxiety in a pet. So if you've got to have your pet with you, keep them on a leash. When pets become anxious, they're going to do things that we don't expect them to do. Even the best dog might do something unusual. I've seen a lot of dogs that run out the door. They become anxious, they run out the door when trick-or-treaters come. So we want to keep them in the house, keep them on a leash. Another thing pets can do when they become anxious is actually become aggressive. So we call it fear aggression. They get nervous, they become afraid, they can actually bite, children, bite trick-or-treaters, bite you. So that's something else to watch out for.
Dr. Price also says that you need to make sure that if you have a black cat, to make sure that they don't cross the street in front of passing cars. Just in time for Halloween, the LMU players opened their fall 2016 show, The Crucible. We heard from director Joe Powell and actress Petula Ford about show selection, what this show means, and what student support means to the cast.
Well, we try to find something that both audiences will understand and relate to, but we also want to find shows that challenge the students too, and push them to areas they might not have been exploring before. We also try to keep in mind that we want to do shows that people might be familiar with or have heard of, but chiefly it's what kind of shows I think that really bring some challenges to the students, not only acting-wise, but also in the creation of the set and the music and the costumes. It's a very collaborative situation, so I think that drives us the most.
Okay, pretty much the plot is a young girl falls in love with her old master, and once this master finally decides, okay, it's time for me to stop having this fling with this girl and be faithful to my wife again. The girl is not okay with that. So she basically finds the slave of her house, gets her to perform a voodoo charm while dancing in the woods one night. And once they get caught, that is when everything in the bag just falls down and happens. The cast rehearses every Monday through Thursday, just depending on the times throughout the day. But Monday is 5 to 7, but Tuesday through Thursday is 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, or just whenever we get done.
One of the reasons I like this show is because it talks a lot about something that's very universal. Most people will kind of lump The Crucible into a show that might be about McCarthyism or a witch hunt, but really what's at the center of it is what happens to a society that becomes full of suspicion and full of paranoia and full of fear. that society will tear itself apart. And oddly enough, when we first picked this show, we didn't realize how much it would apply to the world we live in today.
After all the hard work, I mean, upward of 15 to 17 hours a week just working on lights, not to mention shop work, it means a lot to them to have their students come out and be like, oh wow, that was such a good job, you did great. All that hard work really gets paid off.
Students and faculty get in free with a student ID, and the community can get in with a $5 advance ticket or $10 at the door. Every Tuesday and Thursday in the parking lot of First Century Bank and Harrogate United Methodist Church is a popular spot for local shoppers and farmers in the community. To give us more insight into what goes into the Harrogate Farmers Market, here is Tyler Rowlett and Petula Ford.
The Harrogate Farmers Market brings farmers in the community together. Mary Hall is a regular at the market, and for her, it's a family affair.
I've been here for 22 years. Yeah, and we've always done it as a family thing. Myself and my daughter and my granddaughter.
Mary hopes future generations will keep the century-long tradition of the farmers market going.
A lot of people come, a lot of people go. A lot of the old farmers that came here when I came here, you know, they've done passed and gone on, and hopefully that some of the younger people will start picking it up. That's what we're hoping for, because this market's been here for, I think from what I can go back to the history of it, it's been here for over 100 years.
You get to meet a lot of folks.
Farmers like Harold Gerald enjoy interacting with customers. He's getting the community ready for fall with his pumpkins and gourds.
But it's just a good place to meet people and to develop a friendship there.
A study from North Carolina State University shows consumers have 10 times more conversations at farmers markets than at supermarkets. Consumers say they visit for a couple of reasons, one being to support local farmers and the other, social benefits. Mary is proud to carry on the tradition of the farmers market.
So we're proud to be able to carry it on, you know. Like I said, hopefully that the young people will come in and take interest and carry it from us.
3 days a week, farmers and growers meet to sell what they are raising all season. The Tri-States Farmers Market, located in Harrogate, Tennessee, is a place of fresh produce and friendly atmosphere. Buyers are attracted to the homegrown goods, even those of the more seasonal type.
I grow pumpkins. I'm a retired agricultural extension agent for Lee County, Virginia, and I've grown pumpkins for several years. Pumpkins, Cushaws, the Cinderella pumpkin that are used for stacking, and it's just a hobby that I have for fall of the year. It gives me something to do.
Research by Ohio State University shows that people are willing to spend 92 cents extra for local food. But even with this evidence, what makes Harrogate a good place for a farmer's market?
Location, location, location. Take the 4-lane road right in front of a major university. Got a lot of traffic, as you can see the cars moving in and out. Just gives you an excellent location where you have a lot of people that are constantly coming in and out all day long.
We just decided to come because we like to get our produce fresh, and we don't always find that at the store. LMU students, so in close range.
The Harrogate Farmers Market is open roughly until the end of November, so be sure to stop by for all your fruit and veggie needs. A furry face is the perfect addition for any family, and each week we bring you adoptable pups from the Claiborne Animal Shelter. These furry faces are available for adoption at the animal shelter, so let's show off this week's Pet of the Week in hopes of finding their forever family and home.
Hey everybody, it's Ashley here, and I am with Amy from the Claiborne Animal Shelter, and we have got a new kind of segment with a cat this time. Now, normally on our pet segments we are usually with a dog, and that'll come later on, but today we've got this cute little cat. She's not a kitten at all. When they brought her in, they said, look at the kitten. This is not a kitten. This is a ginormous cat, like Garfield size, I would say. So tell us a little bit about her.
This is Jenny, and she's 3. She came to us, she was owner surrender. She's been declawed, which if she was to ever get outside, she wouldn't be able to protect herself, so that's something that we really don't like, the practice of that. But she's just a big love ball. She loves to lick. I mean, she's ready to go home. She's already fixed. She just needs a good home.
Okay, now what kind of cat would you say that she is?
She's a Blue Russian.
Blue Russian. Now, do they have to have any kind of special treatment or anything like that at home?
Obviously, she needs to be put on a diet.
There you go.
I mean, so maybe some science diet food. But for most of her, I just think she needs exercise and love.
Okay.
I mean, She's a really great cat.
So what kind of home would you recommend her go to?
I would say, because she's going to be real laid back, she wants to sit in your lap and be loved.
Okay. So what about children?
Oh, she's fine with kids too. I mean, she just wants attention.
Would you be good with kids? I bet you would. All right, now if somebody wanted to adopt her, how would they go about doing that?
Okay, well, you could go online at our website, or you could come into the shelter and you fill out an application, and they do vet checks and make sure that all your pets are update on their shots, fixed, you know, because we're really big on spaying animals and neutering. And then you get approved, and right now we have a special. It's 2 for $50, because it's $50 to adopt, and you get a second one because we've got so many cats.
Right.
So you could get 2 for $50, and they would go home fixed and all their shots.
Okay. Now, because she was an owner surrender, she came in declawed. Now, explain, you know, the fact of why she couldn't be an outside cat.
Well, she couldn't defend herself.
Right.
I mean, against other animals. I mean, she'd have to stay inside.
Right.
But, you know, she wouldn't mess up your furniture. She wouldn't scratch you.
Right. So you would be good for kids. You couldn't scratch them. All right. So if you would like to make her a part of your home, you can go to the Claiborne Animal Shelter website, or you can visit them on Facebook, or you could even go out there and give her a visit.
Before we head to sports, our news anchor and members of the LMU Community TV staff are asking for help in the safe return of Ashley's missing dog. Her dog Wally was last seen on Londonderry Road Wednesday evening around 7:30. He's a ginger Dachshund, is blind in one eye, and has weak back legs. If you see him or know someone that has picked him up, please call our news anchor, Ashley Collingsworth, at 423-869-7417. Thank you all in advance for your help. Now let's turn to Brandon Burke with the latest in sports from around the region.
Thank you, Peyton. The Lincoln Memorial Lady Rail Splitter volleyball team continued their dominance in the South Atlantic Conference on Tuesday evening as LMU took care of the Lions of Mars Hill 3-0 on the road. The Lady Rail Splitters posted a .384 attack percentage, their highest of the season as well as their highest since 2013, on their way to the victory. Lincoln Memorial racked up 51 kills next to only 8 errors in the contest and dominated from the outset, winning the first set 25-19 before finding themselves down in an 11-6 hole in the second set. The Lady Rail Splitters would respond, however, going on a 10-1 run to come away with the second set win by the same score of 25-19. LMU continued to have no problems in the final set, putting the Lions away 25-17. Mars Hill entered the SAC matchup having won 5 of their last 6 conference matchups, but could not muster much offense, posting a .155 attack percentage. Following the impressive sweep away from home, the Lady Rail Splitters will return to Harrogate, Tennessee this Friday and Saturday for a pair of conference matchups. Lincoln Memorial, who now holds a 19-4 overall record, including a 13-2 mark in conference play, will host the league-leading Wingate Bulldogs at 7 o'clock on Friday evening in what is arguably the biggest match of the 2016 season. LMU will follow up with that performance the next day at 2:00 p.m. when the Coker Cobras visit the Mary Mars Gymnasium. The LMU Sports Network will be covering both of these home events, and you can follow these two contests with live video at www.lmurailsplitters.com. The women's soccer team for Lincoln Memorial University visited Jefferson City, Tennessee on Tuesday evening for a South Atlantic Conference matchup with the Eagles of Carson Newman. In a game that did not extend past the 90-minute mark as the previous 4 contests had for the Lady Rail Splitters, Lincoln Memorial found themselves on the losing end of the match 1-0. LMU turned in a strong defensive performance. However, their offensive woes that have haunted them all season long turned out to be the deciding factor. The Lady Rail Splitters were held scoreless for the 7th time in 2016, and a historic outing for goalie Catherine Lundy was not enough to save the SAC loss. Lundy turned in an outstanding 15 saves on the day, the most saves by an LMU goalkeeper since 2009. After a scoreless first half, the Eagles finally managed to get on the scoreboard in the 64th minute, marking the lone goal of the evening. Lincoln Memorial has now lost 3 consecutive matches, and with the loss, LMU drops to 3-10-1 overall with a 2-7-1 record in South Atlantic Conference matchups. The Lady Rail Splitters will conclude the 2016 regular season this Friday, October 28th, when they travel to Salisbury, North Carolina for a 3 o'clock first touch with the Catawba Indians. The Lincoln Memorial men's soccer team also was involved in a 1-0 final score against the Carson-Newman Eagles. However, their performance turned out to be in a winning effort. The Rail Splitters have now won back-to-back games and have walked away victorious in 5 of their last 6 matches. It was a stellar day for goalkeepers all around for Lincoln Memorial, as goalie August Allin posted a career-high 8 saves in the shutout win, while Victor Perez scored in his 5th consecutive matchup, scoring on a free kick in the 28th minute. The contest with the Eagles of Carson-Newman did not provide any scoring for the final 62 minutes, but Perez's goal was all that the Rail Splitters needed to escape with the win on the road. The red-hot Rail Splitters now improved to 10-5 overall in 2016, including a 6-4 record in South Atlantic Conference action. Like the women's soccer squad for Lincoln Memorial, the men's team will also conclude the regular season this Friday as they face off against the Indians of Catawba for more SAC play. That matchup will have first touch at 5:30 p.m. and to keep up to date with both the men's and women's soccer programs, you can visit www.lmurailsplitters.com. As we approach the weekend, it's time to take a look at all of the upcoming high school football games from around the area as teams across the region look ahead towards their final matchups of the regular season as well as possible playoff appearances. In Tennessee, the Claiborne Bulldogs will host the Pigeon Forge Tigers in the LMU Sports Network's Old Town Grill Game of the Week. Spotlight on Tri-State football will begin at 6 o'clock on 91.3 FM WLMU, followed by pregame coverage from myself and Asher No beginning at 7 o'clock p.m. The Cumberland Gap Panthers will close out the 2016 season on the road as they travel to face the 8-1 Hampton Bulldogs, looking for their 3rd win of the season. The 8-1 Campbell County Cougars will be at home, facing off against the Oak Ridge Wildcats, who have lost back-to-back games after starting the season 7-0. Union County looks to end a 25-game losing streak when they travel to Knoxville Catholic to take on the 8-1 Fighting Irish. The Blue Devils of Jellicoe will be at home facing off against the Blue Devils of Harriman, looking to finish the regular season at 500, and the Hancock County Indians are in the midst of their bye week. In Kentucky, the Bell County Bobcats visit the Harlan County Black Bears in a battle of 2, 3, and 6 teams. The Middlesboro Yellow Jackets are on the road facing the Williamsburg Yellow Jackets, looking for win number 2 in 2016. And the Pineville Mountain Lions are at home versus the Cavaliers of Jenkins, 1 week ahead of playing the Cavaliers again in the 2016 playoffs. Lastly, in Virginia, the Thomas Walker Pioneers travel to Twin Springs to take on the Titans, aiming for their 3rd win of the season. Well, this coming weekend is Week 9 in the 2016 college football season, and the Tennessee Volunteers are looking to end a 2-game losing skid when they travel to Columbia, South Carolina for an SEC road date with the Gamecocks. The 18th-ranked Vols are fresh off of a bye week, which came at a much-needed time following a heavy load of injuries suffered in back-to-back losses against number 9 Texas A&M and number 1 Alabama. The Gamecocks, meanwhile, faced non-conference opponent UMass last week and pulled off the unconvincing win 34-28. Head coach Will Muschamp in South Carolina stand at 3-4 on the season with a 1-4 record in conference play. The Volunteers started 2016 5-0, but after consecutive losses need a Southeastern Conference win to stay on par with the Florida Gators in the race for the SEC championship game at season's end. The Gamecocks will host the Vols this Saturday night at 7:15 on ESPN2. The Kentucky Wildcats will also be away from home this Saturday as part of an SEC East contest when they travel to the other Columbia school in the Southeastern Conference, the Missouri Tigers. Head coach Mark Stoops and the Wildcats pulled off a thrilling 40-38 home victory last weekend over Mississippi State thanks to a game-winning 51-yard field goal from kicker Austin McGinnis in the final seconds. The Tigers, however, did not have quite a successful outing as Missouri's 2016 homecoming was spoiled by the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders, and first-year coach Barry Odom and company suffered a crushing non-conference loss 51-45. A road victory would be huge for the 4-3 Wildcats, who look to improve their standings in the SEC East race as well as to advance to a bowl game for the first time under Stoops. Kentucky and Missouri will kick off at 12 o'clock p.m. on the SEC Network. That's all for sports this week, but here is Tyler Rowlett for this week's concert calendar.
I'm Tyler Rowlett of 91.3 WLMU and LMU Community TV, and here's your concert calendar for the week of October 27th, 2016. Coming Sunday, October 30th to the Mill and Mine in Knoxville is Phantogram. The New York duo have been making music together since 2007 and in that time have released 2 full-length albums. A lot of times duos or even trios struggle to replicate their studio sounds live, but this isn't the case with Phantogram. You'll be amazed at how many layers of sound you can get from just a keyboard, guitar, and a singer. If you love indie pop or heavily electronic influenced music, you'll love these guys. Also coming to the Mill and Mine this week is another duo, Purity Ring. The duo has made a name for themselves over the past few years as one of the top names in electropop. Their debut album Shrines made numerous year-end best of lists in 2012, and their 2015 follow-up Another Entity received similar critical praise. The band provides an interesting perspective on where pop music is today, considering they recorded their entire second album by themselves, no engineer needed. For more information on these events, you can visit themillandmine.com. I'm Tyler Rowell of 91.3 WLMU and LMU Community TV, and that's your concert calendar for this week.
That will do it for today's edition of LMU Community TV News. I'm Peyton McDaniel. We'll be back on Monday. Have a great weekend.